One Zambia, One Nation, and thanks for joining us on Zanis News. To present, my name is Juliet Mutale. Top stories in the news tonight. Zambia to showcase dual impact at 78th UN General Assembly. Kapiri Mposhi, DC, orders for probe in missing medical equipment. Comprehensive Agriculture Transformation Support Program targets 3,000 farmers in Eastern Province. Plus, government commended for Lobito Trade Facilitation Program. Zanis News in detail. Zambia is tomorrow, Friday, 22nd September 2023, set to host a side event with cooperating partners at the 78th session of the United Nations General Assembly taking place in New York, United States, to highlight the impact and contribution the Girls' Education and Women's Empowerment and Livelihood Project has made towards the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals in the country. Pethias Mutale reports from New York that Gender Division Permanent Secretary in the Office of the President, Mainga Kabika, says the Dual Project has contributed to a number of SDG goals such as supporting women's livelihoods and addressing gender-based violence.
All eyes are in New York, United States of America, where world leaders have gathered to tackle world problems, among them ending child marriage and women vulnerability. Gender Division Permanent Secretary Mainga Kabika is in New York and will tomorrow, Friday 22nd, 2023, present an overview of the JOL project's implementation in Zambia.
The JOL project contributes to Sustainable Development Goals. So SDG 1 and SDG 2 focus on reducing poverty at household level, and this is a reason why we have supporting women's livelihood. And then SDG 4 focuses on access to quality education, and this is responded to by keeping girls in school.
For sure, KGS has provided hope to thousands of girls in Zambia.
Like in my life, I need education. So I know that one day I'll be that CO, clinical officer that I want to be because of my education. When I become a successful person, I also want to inspire other girls who are outside there who have lost hope that they can never do it again.
Supporting women's livelihood program is also a dream come true to Zambian women.
Mwago yo mana twali 60,000 olo inwa wapete tutandira 40,000 ibu botu basako buli jiandiga biyo kuba moyo ukede wagutino jata mali togo higuli tonde haja guli sumpola gube hinyoko guti bahibe gutu.
And the social cash transfer program has put smiles on Zambian faces.
Alaya atugwa ya watu manindi magana wote into himwe itwali ku pengedega indi.
Dual Project has also set up a GBV grievance redress mechanism, which is dotted around the country and aims at ensuring that grievances in communities are channeled to the rightful service providers. The project has a potential to reach out to an additional 1.3 million beneficiaries if rolled out under the social cash transfer.
Pethias Mutale for Zanis News in New York, United States of America.
The Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development Permanent Secretary for Administration, Mambo Hamaundu, says the construction of cross-culvert drainage systems in Kamala South will be completed in the next 3 months. Mr. Hamaundu says the construction of the cross-culverts is meant to drain water from Kamala South area, which is mostly flooded during the rainy season. The Permanent Secretary said this when he inspected the drainage system in Kamala South area. Jensi Malumba has the rest of the story.
He has inspected the construction of cross-culverts in Lusaka's Kamala South. Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development Permanent Secretary for Administration, Mambo Hamaundu, inspected the construction of these drainage systems, which are expected to be completed in the next 3 months. The cross culverts are being constructed to to mitigate the flooding situation which characterizes the area during the rainy season.
The idea behind it is that when the roadworks are done, and I think upon the coming of the rains, we expect that this particular facility which has been installed here, the drain, will actually, we call it a cross culvert, will help to drain some water from Kamwala South, because we've also put another cross culvert across Tokyo Way to just drive water from Kamwala South into there, and we will join this drain to the main drain, which is the Bombay drain. So this is expected to mitigate some of the challenges that are faced by residents of Kamwala South.
Kamwala South is not the only area where these drainage systems are being constructed, but Kanyama Township is also on the program.
Kanyama constituency has been given money through Lusaka City Council. I know that the DMMU released up to 3.3 million to work on the drains. I think work has commenced there too, and there's quite some extensive activities around opening the drains.
Once the construction of these drainage systems are completed, the PS has a word for the residents.
So my appeal would go to the residents of Kamwala South to say they must ensure that the drains are kept free of debris so that water continues to flow, so that they save the purpose. Otherwise, we can have such a good infrastructure, but if there's no work or if the drains are left dirty, they'll be serving no purpose.
Earlier this year, President Hakainde Hichilema called for alternative solutions to mitigate the flooding situation here, where houses are usually submerged in water. Jane Simalumba Zanis in Lusaka.
Thank you, Jen, for that report. Now, Minister of Tourism Rodney Sekumba today took part in a cleaning exercise at Lusaka National Museum to mark the commemoration of this year's Tourism Week. Mr. Sekumba also planted a tree within Lusaka National Museum and at the Embassy Park as part of observing the Tourism Week, which runs from the 21st to the 27th September 2023. Details in this report by Angel Hall.
Minister of Tourism Rodney Sekumba has flagged off activities to mark the Tourism Week with a call to the public to visit museums dotted around the country. Mr. Sekumba said the Tourism Week is being used as a platform to highlight the importance of museums and the value that they hold to the country's rich heritage. He bemoaned that museums are not frequently visited by locals. Earlier, the minister led members of staff from the Ministry of Tourism and officials from the Lusaka Museum in cleaning the premises around the facility.
We took an initiative to come to Lusaka Museum to make sure that we enhance visibility of this museum. We also want to showcase the artifacts that are sitting in this particular museum. So we've always said it as a ministry and myself specifically, that there's no better person to advertise Zambia than the Zambians themselves.
And a visiting Canadian historian tourist has commended Zambia for preserving and documenting the country's rich historical heritage.
The demonstration of your history and your time is very well presented, step by step by step.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Tourism has encouraged members of the public to visit the Embassy Park and appreciate the history behind the deceased former heads of state.
Here, our final resting place for our former presidents of the Republic of Zambia. And I must say the stories behind what we see here today is something that we should be able to be proud about, something that we should be able to tell stories to our children and our children's children.
The Ministry of Tourism has lined up several activities to mark the Tourism Week, which is leading to the commemoration of the World Tourism Day, which falls on the 27th of September every year. Angel Hall, Zanis, Lusaka.
Still on tourism, in Northwestern Province, the Ministry of Tourism has challenged both local and international investors to supplement government's efforts in uplifting tourism in Zambezi district, and authorities in the district say they will consider using the Constituency Development Fund (CDF) to upgrade roads leading to tourism sites in the area. Here are the details.
Zambezi district in Northwestern Province is one of the districts that is placed towards the Zambezi River, the country's lifeline. Despite being endowed with natural resources, the resources have, however, remained underutilized. Stakeholders are calling for the utilization of the Zambezi River to boost development in the area.
That should develop any site, first of all, is ourselves, the Zambians, the local people, the business people in this community. So let's take advantage of this and develop this so we can now boost our tourism. So again, what more will you be looking for? Everything is here. The site, the scenery, everything is beautiful. The water is here, the sand is here, the land is here. We just need you to bring your money, invest, and let's boost tourism.
Authorities feel the Constituency Development Fund could be a game changer.
On the infrastructure like the roads, I think CDF are buying new equipment which will start working on the roads, on township roads, and such a facility, I think like that road to those areas they can be able to own. We just need to engage our civic leaders.
The local people are aware of the river's tourism potential.
We have the mighty flyover bridge like Chinyingi. Also along Zambezi River we have many beaches. It's a very beautiful scenery actually for tourism. It's only that it has not been marketed.
Florence Mesa, Zanis, in Zambezi District, Northwestern Province.
We now move to the central part of the country. Kapirimposhi District Commissioner Francis Hasalama has ordered for the arrest of people involved in the missing medical and auxiliary equipment at Twalubuga Clinic in Monga Ward. The clinic has remained non-operational for over 7 years due to its dilapidated state. This came to light when the district CDF monitoring committee visited the institution, where a staff house and VIP toilets have been constructed using 2022 CDF. Carlos Bunda filed in this report.
This is Twalubuka Clinic in Munga Ward in Kapirimposhi District, closed for renovations over 7 years ago and remains non-operational to date due to dilapidated infrastructure, blamed on shoddy rehabilitation works funded through the 2020 Constituency Development Fund. Worse enough, medical equipment at the clinic has gone missing during the period of the closure.
The clinic was well equipped with the running water. The water system was disturbed. The water pump was stolen. Solar panels, I think they are kept somewhere. They are there, but the equipment which was in the clinic, they were stolen. We had even given this report to the Zambia police.
The person who did it is known. Let him be brought to the books and pay back the money and all the equipment we brought inside.
For the locals, the reopening of the clinic is overdue, owing to hardships they are facing to access health services.
Really to remove afya. Work about especially when the mayonga babukuru. Mkwaba maonde transport kuno. Ala papira mushila. Abantu nga bahwala kuba senda pafikochi nkasanga sometimes omuntu afali pachikochi palapeni.
Government through the 2022 CDF has constructed a staff house and VIP toilets at the clinic, however yet to be utilized as the clinic remains closed.
I'm very happy with the instruction which is here. Now I can say that we can't open the clinic at the moment. We need also to renovate the same the clinic because there is no way. We have done the VIP toilet and also the house here. So there's no way we can open it. So we just need to finish. We touch there where it's not okay. We need to work on it so that maybe we can open.
Carlos Zanis, Kapirimposhi.
Still in health news, over 4.8 million Kwacha Constituency Development Fund (CDF) empowerment grants and loans have been disbursed in Shimba Milonga constituency in Sama district. Northern Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Lewis Mwape, who is in the district, graced the handover ceremony of the grants and loans to the beneficiaries. Here are the details.
These are part of the 76 people and groups benefiting from the youth, women and community empowerment grants and loans amounting to over 4.8 million kwacha in Chimbamilonga constituency of Onsama district in Northern Province. 22 beneficiaries have been awarded loans from the 2022 Constituency Development Fund CDF costing over 2.6 million kwacha, while 54 others have been awarded grants to the tune of 2.1 million kwacha from the 2023 Constituency Development Fund CDF. Northern Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Lewis Mwape graced the handover ceremony in Nsama district.
So the new Dawn government has emphasized on the need to decentralize government, on the need to take development to the people, so that people can benefit from the wealth of that government generates.
The local leadership was present at the handover ceremony.
CDF Mkwai tuleito kutila ni game changer. Ilelo twala kwata magranti eyo twali okukwata msheta ili ni game changer. Twala kwata maloni eyo twali okukwata tayari ni game changer.
Ero twapitamo na badisi huku molefe mwabo mfishe mpia. Amwale kutuka no kutu.
And to enhance monitoring of CDF, Nsama district has received the CDF project monitoring vehicle, which was officially handed over by Deputy Permanent Secretary Lewis Mwape. Helen Boalia for Zanis in Nsama district, Northern Province.
And from the eastern part of the country, Eastern Province is set to pilot the Comprehensive Agriculture Transformation Support Program with 3,000 farmers to be drawn from the 4 districts. Eastern Province Minister Peter Piri says the program that is set to start by next year will, among other benefits, promote diversification and inclusiveness in the agricultural sector. More in this report.
The government to introduce agriculture loans as a way of boosting the agriculture sector has generally been well received in Eastern Province. As government makes headways in this direction, Eastern Province Minister Peter Piri says the region will by next year start piloting the program in 4 districts.
We will be running a pilot project of about 3,000 beneficiaries in Eastern Province, and it will be rolled out in Lundazi, Chipata, Katete and Petauke. We want to see on how it is going to fare.
On top of this agenda is promoting diversification in the agriculture sector.
When you get a loan, you invest it in where you feel you are going to recoup your money quickly and easily. Just like in farming, it's not only maize. There are so many sectors where you can venture into. So that is the benefit which is coming. And the better benefit is that it's not segregating. It's not looking at who you are to get this loan. As long as you are a farmer, you can benefit from this very loan. And also do massive diversifications, because Zambia has basically dwelled much on maize, groundnuts and soya beans.
The minister also shared some challenges being faced in implementing the Farmers Import Support Program in its current form.
There's been too many ghost cooperatives that have been formed, and business people have taken advantage because this is almost free fertilizer that they get. And this is the more reason why we are seeing there's too much noise surrounding FISIP. There's too many people that want to be getting FISIP. Our population has kept on increasing, and I still feel government cannot manage to subsidize all the fertilizer for all the 20 million people. So hence we have this other option of introducing farmer input loans. It will be actually affordable loans that the government wants to introduce that most of the farmers can benefit from.
Meanwhile, government has clarified that the process of phasing out FISIP will be gradual, as the two programs will for some time run side by side. Abigail Kashweka, Zanis, in Chipata.
Now, government is in the process of coming up with a national security strategy aimed at, among other things, to promote territorial integrity. Speaking during a stakeholders meeting in Mansa, National Security Strategy Team Leader Brigadier General James Mwalongo says the vision for the strategy is to have a prosperous and secure nation that promotes good governance. Brigadier General Mwalongo pointed out that the strategy will also guarantee citizens freedom from fear and assured of socio-economic development. He added that the strategy will not only focus on traditional security, but also human security, which has 7 pillars. Anwapula Province Permanent Secretary Maiti Mumbas says the participation of government heads of department, traditional leaders, civil society and church leaders demonstrate government's commitment in engaging stakeholders in matters of national security.
The vision for the national security strategy is to have a prosperous and secure nation that promotes good governance, guarantees its citizens freedom from fear and want, assures socio-economic development, territorial integrity, and wherein people's welfare, culture, and values are enhanced and protected.
I, therefore, urge you all to take this opportunity to provide meaningful inputs and ensure that the strategy is practical, achievable, and aligned with our national priorities as enshrined in the 8th National Development Plan and the Vision 2030.
The Northwestern Chamber of Commerce and Industry has commended government for facilitating trade linkages through the Lobito Corridor Trade Facilitation Project. Chamber President Kayula Lombanya says the project presents an opportunity for businesses to tap into export markets beyond the country's borders. Mrs. Kayula was speaking in Solwezi during the media launch of the 2023 Business and Investment Expo. Here are other details.
The Lobito Corridor Trade Facilitation Project seeks to promote domestic and cross-border trade as well as develop value chains along the corridor. To ensure businesses fully benefit from the opportunities that the corridor presents, the Northwestern Chamber of Commerce and Industry is positioning its members through enhanced trade linkages.
This year's expo is in line with the Lobito Corridor project, and we are grateful that the Republican president has put a step forward by ensuring that the agreement of creating trade linkages between Angola, Congo, and Zambia has been addressed.
We sit on this Lobito Corridor hub, which is encompassing Congo, Zambia, and Angola. So for us to harmonize trade between these countries, it has to begin with ourselves as chambers in this country.
Government and the private sector stand ready to support initiatives that are meant to enhance development of commerce and trade.
As government, we commend and support such initiatives that are meant to foster the enhancement of synergies meant for the development of commerce and trade within and outside the province.
We look at the local economic development as a very important driver, to bring about sustainable communities, sustainable economies.
It gives FKM much pleasure to support the expo which is coming in November, which we believe has the potential to attract more value chain players.
Mwape Mwesa for Zanis News in Solwezi District.
The Ministry of Health Permanent Secretary in charge of donor coordination, George Sinyangwe, has held the Catholic Relief Services and its cooperative partners for putting 77,000 clients on HIV treatment through the Epidemic Control 13 to 90 project that has been implemented in the last 6 years. Dr. Sinyangwe says CRCs have been a key contributor to the major achievements the country has scored in HIV epidemic control and prevention. The Permanent Secretary was speaking during the EPIC 3 to 90 project dissemination and close-out meeting at Siela in Chongwe District. Details in this report.
Zambia's HIV prevalence rate stands at 11.1%, with an estimated 1.4 million people living with HIV. Over the years, global investment funds have played a vital role in supporting and strengthening interventions meant to reduce the further spread of the disease. This is why Catholic Relief Services (CRS), with support from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC) and PEPFAR, has been implementing the Epidemic Control 390 project since 2017, aimed at preventing and controlling of new HIV infections. Ministry of Health Permanent Secretary for Donor Coordination George Sinyangwe, who officiated at the close of the project, thanked Catholic Relief Services for its efforts in the fight against HIV.
Through these interventions, CRIS has been a key contributor to the major achievements the country has scored on its journey to HIV epidemic control. For instance, the EPIC 390 project has since 2017 put 77,000 clients on HIV treatment across the country, thereby contributing towards the attainment of the second 95.
And Catholic Relief Services Chief of Party Charlie Lwechangu shared insights on the achievements of the project.
So these are the sites that EPIC was implemented in. In Lusaka we had Coptic, Mtendere, Creso, Circle of Hope, that we've just been reminded that is a success story of the facility to prime journey, and really a model that has been replicated across the entire globe. We have Kafue, Katondwe Mission, Our Ladies, and Pasha.
The project has seen 77,000 patients being identified and put on antiretroviral treatment during the period of implementation.
CRS's work has been amazing and has supported thousands of clients being able to access life-saving treatment and services. From the bottom of our hearts, we thank you for all of the hard work. We thank all of the partners who are assembled here today, because each one of you are critical stakeholders in the advancement of evidence-based practices to close the HIV gap and improve HIV service delivery here in Zambia.
Audrey Kalenga, Zanis News, Chongwe.
As we end the news, we recap on the headlines. Zambia to showcase dual impact at 78th UN General Assembly. Kapiri Mposhi, DC, orders for probe in missing medical equipment. Comprehensive Agriculture Transformation Support Program targets 3,000 farmers in Eastern Province. Plus government commended for Lobito Trade Facilitation Program. Well, that is all we had for Zanis News. My name is Juliet Mtele saying bye-bye and God bless.